Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 3, Book 31, number 164. Narrated by Aisha. The wife of the Prophet, Hamza bin Amr al-Aslami, asked the Prophet, "Should I fast while traveling?" The Prophet replied, "You may fast if you wish, and you may not fast if you wish." Volume 3, Book 31, number 165. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Allah's apostle set out for Mecca in Ramadan and he fasted, and when he reached Al-Qadid, he broke his fast and the people, with him, broke their fast too. Abu Abdullah said, Al-Qadid is a land covered with water between Asfan and Qudid. Volume 3, Book 31, number 166. Narrated by Abu ad-Darda. We set out with Allah's apostle on one of his journeys on a very hot day, and it was so hot that one had to put his hand over his head because of the severity of heat. None of us was fasting except the Prophet and Ibn Rawaha. Volume 3, Book 31, number 167. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. Allah's apostle was on a journey and saw a crowd of people, and a man was being shaded by them. He asked, "What is the matter?" They said, "He, the man, is fasting." The Prophet said, "It is not righteousness that you fast on a journey." Volume 3, Book 31, number 168. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. We used to travel with the Prophet and neither did the fasting persons criticize those who were not fasting, nor did those who were not fasting criticize the fasting ones. Volume 3, Book 31, number 169. Narrated by Tawus. Ibn Abbas said, Allah's apostle set out from Medina to Mecca and he fasted till he reached Asfan, where he asked for water and raised his hand to let the people see him, and then broke the fast, and did not fast after that till he reached Mecca. And that happened in Ramadan. Ibn Abbas used to say, Allah's apostle sometimes fasted and sometimes did not fast during the journeys, so whoever wished to fast could fast, and whoever wished not to fast could do so. Volume 3, Book 31, number 170. Narrated by Nafi. Ibn Umar recited the verse, "They had a choice either to fast or to feed a poor person for every day," and said that the order of this verse was cancelled. Volume 3, Book 31, number 171. Narrated by Aisha. Sometimes I missed some days of Ramadan, but could not fast in lieu of them except in the month of Shaban. Said Yahya, a sub-narrator, she used to be busy serving the Prophet. Volume 3, Book 31, number 172. Narrated by Abu Sa'id. The Prophet said, "Isn't it true that a woman does not pray and does not fast on menstruating? And that is the defect, a loss, in her religion." Volume 3, Book 31, number 173. Narrated by Aisha. Allah's apostle said, "Whoever died and he ought to have fasted the missed days of Ramadan, then his guardians must fast on his behalf." Volume 3, Book 31, number 174. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. A man came to the Prophet and said, "O Allah's apostle, my mother died and she ought to have fasted 1 month for her missed Ramadan. Shall I fast on her behalf?" The Prophet replied in the affirmative and said, "Allah's debts have more right to be paid." In another narration, a woman is reported to have said, "My sister died." Narrated Ibn Abbas. A woman said to the Prophet, "My mother died and she had vowed to fast but she didn't fast." In another narration, Ibn Abbas is reported to have said, a woman said to the Prophet, "My mother died while she ought to have fasted for 15 days. Volume 3, Book 31, number 175. Narrated by Umar bin al-Khattab. Allah's Apostle said, "When night falls from this side and the day vanishes from this side and the sun sets, then the fasting person should break his fast." Volume 3, Book 31, number 176. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abi Awfa. We were in the company of the Prophet on a journey and he was fasting, and when the sun set, he addressed somebody, "O so and so, get up and mix sawiq with water for us." He replied, "O Allah's Apostle, will you wait till it is evening?" The Prophet said, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for us." He replied, "O Allah's Apostle, if you wait till it is evening." The Prophet said again, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for us." He replied, "It is still daytime." 1. The Prophet said again, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for us." He got down and mixed sawiq for them. The Prophet drank it and then said, "When you see night falling from this side, the fasting person should break his fast." Volume 3, Book 31, number 177. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abi Awfa. We were traveling with Allah's Apostle and he was fasting, and when the sun set, he said to someone, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for us." He replied, "O Allah's Apostle, will you wait till it is evening?" The Prophet again said, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for us." He replied, "O Allah's Apostle, it is still daytime." The Prophet said again, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for us." So, he got down and carried out that order. The Prophet then said, "When you see night falling from this side, the fasting person should break his fast," and he beckoned with his finger towards the east. Volume 3, Book 31, number 178. Narrated by Sa'al bin Sa'd. Allah's Apostle said, "The people will remain on the right path as long as they hasten the breaking of the fast." Volume 3, Book 31, number 179. Narrated by Ibn Abi Awfa. I was with the Prophet on a journey, and he observed the fast till evening. The Prophet said to a man, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for me." He replied, "Will you wait till it is evening?" The Prophet said, "Get down and mix sawiq with water for me. When you see night falling from this side, the fasting person should break his fast." Volume 3, Book 31, number 180. Narrated by Abu Usama from Hisham bin Ursa from Fatima. Asma bint Abi Bakr said, "We broke our fast during the lifetime of the Prophet on a cloudy day and then the sun appeared." Hisham was asked, "Were they ordered to fast in lieu of that day?" He replied, "It had to be made up for." Ma'mar said, "I heard Hisham saying, I don't know whether they fasted in lieu of that day or not." Volume 3, Book 31, number 181. Narrated by Rubi bint Muawad. The Prophet sent a messenger to the village of the Ansar in the morning of the day of Ashura, 10th of Muharram, to announce, "Whoever has eaten something should not eat but complete the fast, and whoever is observing the fast should complete it." She further said, "Since then we used to fast on that day regularly and also make our boys fast. We used to make toys of wool for the boys, and if any one of them cried for, he was given those toys till it was the time of the breaking of the fast."